What's going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, hanging out today, playing some Idle Heroes. I want to thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with me today. If you liked the video, don't forget, smash that thumbs up button and show your support. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright guys, today, before we jump into the new events and such, there's another patron on the channel. I know it happens like this a lot, but it's a thing. So today's patron is Nathan, I want to say Nunali? 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 I don't know. One of those three's got to be at least pretty close. So thank you for your support. It does mean a lot to me. I very much appreciate it. You help keep the dream alive here on YouTube, and I love that. It's a great thing. So with that said, though, we're going to jump in today and talk about the new events. If you notice a change in the audio at all, let me know. Before, I felt like it was compressing my voice a little bit too much in some areas, and it sounded a little bit weird. So, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it's better now. I don't know. We'll find out. But anyhoodles, today we got some new events, and we've got a new theme. Look at that, all Christmassy looking, all hot, looking good. Ice Dragon, loving it, loving it, loving it. But anyhoodles, today, new events. New events! We've got some stuff going on here, actually quite a bit of stuff. The Crystal Altar, getting close to being over, obviously, got a few hours left in it. I didn't get quite to the Heart Watcher area, which doesn't really bother me. We're just going to buy, these. We're going to buy 7 OTs, right? Okie dokie. That leaves us 17 left. I could spend them and like get little bits of spirit or gold or something, but nah. We're just gonna keep what we got. We're gonna enjoy it, and I'm gonna leave those in my bag so that one day I can look back and remember this event, what I do. Anyways, value packages are up. I did a little bit of quick maths because I was thinking about buying some profit orbs and such, and I might need some gems for the blacksmith event, but whatever. It's actually cheaper to buy all 3 of these and 1 of these than it is to buy this. Well, I mean, it's not cheaper, same price. But instead of getting 25 orbs, you get like 27. So you get a couple extra orbs for free-ish, kinda. I don't know. It's thing. But with that said, value packs pretty much out of the way. They're not super important. I just like to bring them up. Profitable events, they did swap the event schedule. It was supposed to be Heroic Summon this week, but they changed it because sometimes they do that. It's a thing. Christmas week, they want to drop the new hero. That's fine. They can do what they want to do, but for this week, Heroic Summons. As always, you get the nice hot 4-star light and dark heroes for the first node. And on down, you get a grass hero, or a forest, whatever you want to call them. An abyss hero, all in 5-star shard form. 40 and 50 points give you light and dark 5 stars, which are fantastic for the heroic miracle, which is also running this week, and that's great news. But down, we've got the corpse demon and the flame strike. I never noticed this before, ever in my life. And someone brought it up in my comments, and I was like, how did I not know this? How did I not notice this? It gives you one of every hero. A forest. Or, forest? Yeah, forest is right. I was thinking grass in my head, whatever. Abyss. And then you got your shadow and your fortress. So it does give you one of every single hero in 5-star form in Profit Summons. For some, I don't know how. Never caught it before. This is the first time. So, hey, well, it's a thing. It's a thing. Also, 15 relics, of course, that's great. We'll talk more about these heroes down here in a little bit, just because they're part of the event. I like to discuss them. We'll see. We shall see. Anyhoos, heroic miracle going on right meow. I guess it always runs a profit orb now, which is great. The top reward is Sigmund. Sigmund's a hot unit. Sigmund. He's hot. He's good stuff. He's good for PvE. We'll talk about him in a little bit too. But as always, you need 2 light and 2 dark heroes to complete this part of the heroic miracle. And then you get down here, you need 3 of every regular faction. 3 shadow, fortress, abyss, and forest heroes. It's going to reward you some gear. Not super great gear, but it's gear. Might as well take it. But also for the light and dark, you get 10 total profit orbs, which is great. And then down here, you get a total of 24 heroic scrolls for completing this, which makes Heroic Miracle a pretty solid event. I mean, it gives you orbs, it gives you heroic scrolls. Not bad. Not bad at all. And then we've got the Grey Dwarves Blessing. Now, the Grey Dwarves Blessing, if you guys don't know about it, it's thing. you craft gear. It's what you do. Instead of using a full 3-set piece like you would here in the blacksmith, if you want to craft up a set of 5-star gear, you need 3 of each and every piece of gear that you're going to put up. If you want to do it in the blessing event right here, you only need 1 piece of every gear set, but you have to substitute in some gold and some gemages to get that to happen. So this week, it's actually a 2-week event, by the way. It's not just going to end this week. It runs all the way through the Christmas event, so that's nice. If you don't have the gems now, you can always save them up a little bit. But what I'm going for is I'm going to be needing 160 million gold, which I'm not even close to. So hopefully there's a card that comes for like Christmas week that has gold in it, because I would need it. But we're just going to take a 5-star set, turn it 6-star, and then take that 6-star set and turn it into a class-specific set. Now, what that is going to kind of depend on what my luck is with orbs and such. We'll kind of see, I guess. Anyways, that's the new events pretty much hammered out. Let's talk about the heroes in them in case you're a newer player and you don't really know what they're all about. That's what we're going to talk about today. Bang. So, actually, we're going to grab some of that hot action too on the way. It's what we do. What you do. We got some shadow action, and in the shadow action area, we've got Corpse Demon today. Eeny, meeny, miny, Corpse Demon. Does look pretty cool. Look at that balance. That is extreme balance. Probably the best balance in the game. But he's got some really high HP. He's a warrior. It makes sense. Warriors generally are pretty tanky units. Not a lot of attack, but again, he's not really built for attack. He's a tank kind of guy. So let's talk about him. First up, bam. Active skill, a little bit of damage. 184% of his attack is damage. Not really the important part. He has really low attacks. The damage, not super important. But a 70% chance to freeze them for 2 rounds. That's a really high crowd control chance. It's almost guaranteed to land. I mean, 70%, that's up there. But the big thing about it, he also heals himself for 26% of his total HP as health. One of the few units in the game that has a percent-based heal on their active skill, or even their basic attacks. Cruz has a percent-based heal. It's really nice. When you have this guy at like 6 million health, that's a lot of HP to heal for. I mean, that's a huge amount, especially in battle when he's pushing about 10 million, because the stats you see on your hero list aren't the stats that are in the battle. Your aura and your monster do buff those. But either way, like a 10 million HP, that's like 2.5 million heal. That's a huge amount of health to come back all at once. It does make him very tanky and very hard to take down, but even better for Corpse Demon is his other passives. This first one here, anytime he takes damage, non-warrior target, 20% chance to freeze him for 2 rounds. So anything that hits him that's not a warrior has a 20% chance to get frozen for 2 rounds. That can be hyper annoying, and it can really screw up the rhythm in other people's teams for PvP. Doesn't really work for bosses, obviously, but for PvP usage, that's highly annoying. But also, when he takes damage from an actual warrior target, he has a 35% chance to freeze him for 2 rounds. So, Corpse Demon's like a little bitty crowd control bomb. That's all he is. He crowd controls people with his active skill. When he gets hit, he crowd controls people. It's handy. It's pretty good to throw people's rhythm off. It's not a bad thing. Second passive here, just kind of a normal run-of-the-mill passives. Gets some block, HP, but he's also immune to being frozen. There's not a lot of units that freeze that are in the meta right now. Jara is kind of used up there, and she has a chance to freeze, but mostly it's like Ice Blink and Corpse Demon are really the only other freezers I could think of. So it's not I don't know, it's just not that big of a deal. I mean, it's nice, can't be frozen, not a bad deal. It's just there's not a lot of freezers right now in the meta. It's just not a thing. Freezer, I don't know. Last passive here, when he falls below half health, he does heal himself for 20% of his total HP for 3 rounds. That's a pretty big deal. I mean, again, percent-based HP heal. He has a huge amount of health. You get him to about 10 million HP at E3. I mean, in battle, of course. That's a big heal. You're looking at like 2 million health for 3 rounds that he just regenerates. It's kind of hard to bring that down. He's very tanky. So, really tanky unit. That's pretty much his big role as a tank in PvP and do some crowd control for you. Obviously, that works in other areas. His big heals do help him in the Aspen Dungeon. However, with his very low attack rate, there's a lot of nodes that stop him. Not because he dies, but because he can't deal enough damage to take the enemies out. So a lot of things that have healing, like Vessas, Bell Rains, any kind of node like that with really good healing, Corpse Demon will not beat them because he can't. He can't out-damage what they heal. Even a Gru will stop Corpse Demon because he just can't out-damage him. And that's fine, though. He's pretty tanky, and for certain nodes, you'd rather have that tankiness than you would the damage. Like for a node like a Walter or Bloodblade nodes, this is a lot, it's more important to be able to take a punch than to deal a bunch, you know what I'm saying? So, he has his uses in Aspen. He can definitely make it to Nightmare. I would assume an E3 Corpse Demon can make it to Hell, but he's probably going to need some node breakers for you. Someone to get in there and do the heavy damage against healer nodes and stuff like that. Solid unit all around, though. He's not top-tiered in the meta right now, but he's still a good hero. You can't say Corpse Demon's bad, because he's really not. He's got his own little thing going. You know what I'm saying? If you get more freeze units kind of in the meta in the future, I feel like he'll come back around a little bit just because his immunity to freeze will become more important. Right now, there's just not enough freeze units to make that passive really great, so that's Corpse Demon. That is the Corpse Demon. And now, let's go down here to the, not the Mirage. I was thinking Mirage for some reason, but it's not. It's eeny, meeny, miny, where the crap is she be? Flamestrike, there she is. Look at that hot haircut. That's why I don't like Flamestrike. I know, it's petty. But it's true. I just can't deal with the haircut. Her haircut drives me up a tree. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like a haircut, Flamestrike. It sucks. But other than that, she was recently changed. Recently is, I guess, a strong word. It's been a little while. But she used to be kind of a cheese unit. She was really nukey. Like, as your teammates died and enemies died, she gained crit chance and stuff like that. She got a little, kind of nukey as your team and enemies died. Well, they got rid of that. They completely reworked Flame Strike, and now she's a heavy damage over time unit. Her active skill drops a pretty respectable amount of damage. 276% of her attack is damage against 4 random enemies, burns the target, stealing an extra 50% of her attack each round for 6 rounds. It's a lot of burn, and also boosts her control immunity by 50% for 3 rounds. That's a big deal for Flame Strike because she's slow. Slow units need crowd control immunity, otherwise in PvP they just kind of get CC'd and don't really do anything. In this case, Flame Strike gains some crowd control immunity by using her active skill. It's really nice. And a lot of burns coming from Flame Strike now. Very burn-based unit. When any hero is burned on the battlefield, increases her attack by 2%, skill damage by 4% for 4 rounds. That's not bad. It doesn't stack, so if like the same hero gets burned multiple times, it doesn't keep bumping that up. But again, if the enemy's burning your team, you still get that buff, I believe. I haven't built Flame Strike, but it says any hero on the battlefield. That would include your side of the fence. So anyways, next passive. At the end of every single round, she deals 25% of her attack as burning damage against all enemies for 6 rounds. Those are long-lasting dots. And you'd say, well, that's kind of weird. We'll talk about it. And the final deal here is kind of just a regular run-of-the-mill passive. HP attack, crit damage, crit rate. Actually, her crit rate goes up when she attacks burning foes. Well, she burns foes with everything, and at the end of every round, she burns everybody. So her crit rate's pretty much always at least 50% higher than normal. Not bad. Heavy crits, crit damage, attack, HP, not bad. Not a bad unit. But what I would say Flame Strike is she was kind of reworked to pair well with Cthulhu, because Cthulhu does a lot of, he bursts dots. That's kind of what his job is. So in the case of Flame Strike, all these 6-round burns she's throwing on, he's going to burst all those. He gets to pop them like boom in a single hit. That's a big deal. When you've got all these rounds of burning stacked up, that gives Cthulhu a lot of burst. Now, of course, it steals Flame Strike's damage, but it seems like it can be useful in a lot of areas, so we'll kind of see how that plays out. I haven't seen a lot of E3 Flame Strikes sitting around yet, so I don't really know, but it's thing. It's thing. But anyways, that's Flame Strike out of the way. Oh, we got Sigmund, too. Double Fortress heroes this time. I forgot about that. So, bam! We got the old Sigmund monster. Looks hot. Looking good. Looking good, Sigmund. I like that armor. The armor gets me every time. I like big, bulky armor. It's always been my thing. It's my jam. And Warriors. And Sigmund. They're all my jam. So anyways, Sigmund. Boop. If you guys don't know about Sigmund, he's been around for a long time. He's not a new hero. He's been out for like, I don't know, ages. He's been out forever. But anyways, Sigmund's a pretty solid dude. He does damage against 3 random enemies with his active skill, reduces their armor by 30%. This is really a good thing about Sigmund, and it helps him fight bosses. He has a lot of armor removal, and that's a big deal for your team. So, don't look the other way on that. Armor removal is nice in boss fights. He also reduces their block by 30%. Not quite as important, but it may be more important later. They've been talking about doing a rework to block and precision. I don't know when it'll come or if it will come, but, it might be nice later on. I don't know. In Hoodles. He's also going to deal a burn dot on the enemies for 3 rounds. Well, it's not a huge burn dot. 54% of his attack is damage, but it also is going to increase by 86% each round. That's not bad. So his burn starts out a little bit weak, but it gets stronger over time. Not a bad deal. First passive here, his basic attack has a 100% chance to reduce the target's armor by 24%, deals 45% of his attack as damage each round, that's a burn, lasts for 4 rounds, and increases his self-damage to the burning target by 40%, that also lasts for 4 rounds. This is where a lot of Sigmund's damage comes from. As long as you've got the guy burning, Sigmund is going to do increased damage to them. Plus, he's removing their armor, making them take more damage per hit anyway. It's nice. It pairs up pretty nice. Second passive here, boosts his armor by 48%, so a lot of armor, attack, HP, and precision. The precision is not really a huge deal, but whatever, not a bad deal. You pair precision with his chance to reduce block anyway, and he kind of cuts through block units pretty easily. But anyways, he has the highest armor stat in the game right now, and that pairs really well with his last passive. After being attacked by an enemy who has armor less than he does, he has a 100% chance to counterattack, dealing 180% of his attack as damage. Well, obviously, if you have the highest armor stat in the game, unless the enemy is reducing your armor, you're always going to have higher armor than the person attacking you. Always. Especially since Sigmund himself reduces enemy armor. This is why Sigmund's so nice in boss fights. He reduces armor of the boss, which makes the boss take increased damage from your entire team. He also has a decent amount of burning going on, boosts his damage to burn targets, but he's also going to give himself more armor than the boss because he's removing the boss's armor. This is going to allow him to counterattack anytime the boss hits him. Sigmund can drop some really respectable numbers, and being a warrior, he's naturally pretty tanky. A huge armor stat definitely helps that, If you want to really keep him safe, you run like reduced damage and HP on him to kind of keep him alive. You can also run attack on Sigmunds to just buff that burn damage and buff his counterattacks and stuff like that. Overall, just a really solid unit. I mean, he's not bad at all. Very good for boss fights. He doesn't really translate too well anywhere else, though. His main specialty is boss fighting. When you take him to the arena, I mean, he can do okay early game. Later down the road, though, not so much. I mean, he gets crowd controlled very easily with no crowd control resistance, and it just doesn't pair very well in PvE, or PvP. Armor removal is nice, but it's just not that great. It's not that great for PvP. It's mainly for bosses. The Aspen dungeon doesn't really have a ton of utility in the Aspen until E3 when he gets some, heals from that resilience passive. And at that point, he can break some nodes for you that are a little bit tough, because he's kind of tanky, has the counterattack, he can take down some nodes. Still not the best, though. I mean, he's mainly a boss unit. That's kind of Sigmund's bread and butter, is fighting guild bosses. Really solid for it, but outside of that, he just kind of falls off. Anyhoodles, that is the 3 units that are on offer out of this event. That is it. Oh, also, one other thing that was changed in the update, totally forgot about, because it was, I don't know, it didn't make sense to me. The Seal Land got a change to the shop. You can now buy single pieces of these. It's the exact same cost as buying it, outright. $1.50. If you math it out, it's the same. I'm not 100% sure why this is even a deal, though. Like, I haven't seen any events that give you partial elite shards yet. Maybe it's something that's coming out in the future, and that's kind of why we're getting this now. Maybe they'll have some events that drop like 25 elite 5-star fragments or something. I don't really know. But as of right now, I can't think off the top of my head of any events that have given partial elite fragments. So if it's not coming out in the future, especially for light and dark, there's like no reason to have this, because it's the same cost as this. What's the point of buying them one at a time? I mean, I can't think of one. So anyways, that was changed. Kind of a weird change. Didn't make a lot of sense to me, so I almost forgot it. But I think that's it, peeps. We've talked about the event, the new stuff, the new heroes. What I can't wait for, oh my gosh, tomorrow is orb day for me. We're ready. We've got 124 orbs right now. We do the heroic miracle. That's 134. We can buy nearly 30 here. We can get to 160 orbs almost immediately. And that's going to be hot. It's going to be really hot. So 160, going to be great. I plan to go 80 in Shadow and 80 in Abyss. Hopefully I can snag a Horus copy. If I can't, whatever. And that's what really ticked me off, peeps. Yet again, for another week in a row, no Horus. No Horus in the relic shop. I have no idea why it's taken them so long to get him in here, but it's starting to chat my behind. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying the wait, but whatevs. That is going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please make sure, smash that thumbs up button and show your support. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well, and tell your friends about it, because that definitely helps me out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next one.